Okay, I've been waiting all day. I haven't looked at my phone in like 2 hours. The last time I looked, I was at 9,999. Let's see if I'm there. Yes! 10,003. Thank you so much to the last 4 of you. Holy cow, 10,003. I gotta go kiss my wife. Thank you all so much. This is so surreal. This has happened a year, or actually over a year faster than I expected it even could happen. And that's thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for watching videos, for liking, for commenting, and for sharing them with your friends, because that's what's made this happen. And I appreciate it so, so much. I wanted to share this milestone with you all and also share some of the things that I've learned along the way, because whether you realize it or not, doing YouTube is like, it's a business. And so in the last sort of 2 years when I've been doing this, I've read over 200 books. I've learned a ton, and I wanted to share some of that so that you get some value out of being here and seeing even this video, which is just kind of a milestone video. So let's get into that. Also, before we do that, at the end of this video, I'll be making a charitable donation to a financial education and kind of a financial charity. And I talked about it in the last video, but I'll talk about it more at the end of this video. So on my phone calendar, I had set a stretch goal, and people say like setting goals is good. Setting goals helps you to accomplish them. And my stretch goal was for at June of this year, June of 2021, to hopefully have 1,000 subscribers. And now here it is, May 17th, 9:52 p.m., and we just hit 10,000. I cannot believe we're at 10 times over what the stretch goal was. This is literally mind-blowing, dream come true. So let's get into the tips and the things that I've learned that can help you be successful in your job, in life, or in the business that you're starting. Thing I've learned, number one, is inputs are always greater than results. Whether it's something like investing, trying to get fit, or to make progress in your career or your small business, we often focus too much on the results of our recent effort. And when we don't see the change we've been looking for, or we don't see the profit, or we don't see the kind of chiseled abs that we were wishing we had, we give up because it's not happening. We stop going to the gym, we sell the investments and take the money out, we give up on that work project, we just call it quits. And something I've learned is that these things typically take a lot longer time span than we're willing to kind of sit through, or than we expect in the beginning. We think that we're going to see results at the gym in 6 weeks, or we're going to make money on this new business in 6 months, and oftentimes it just takes years to get these things really, really going. The trick is to focus on the actions that you're actually doing, the inputs, and ignore the results for as long as possible. If you can continue to invest even when the market's going down, if you can still go to the gym and grab a salad on the way home, even when you feel like your spare tire is growing, if you can stay committed to that work project that you've decided that you're going to do, even if it feels like you're getting nowhere, then you actually stand a chance to see those results, but it's only by ignoring them that they stand a chance to even exist. Becoming a little bit obsessed with the inputs themselves ensures we actually have a shot at seeing the results. The second thing I've learned is to create a process. And this is something I learned from a book that was recommended by Ali Abdallah a number of times, and it's called The E-Myth Revisited. Overall, as a book, it's kind of mediocre, but the concept is huge. What this book is saying is for you to create a repeatable process that's so bulletproof, so dummy-proof, that it's super easy to just duplicate it no matter what the other conditions are. And for me, this has been a huge game changer, both here on YouTube and at my full-time job. What that's looked like for me is in Notion, I've made templates for both of these things. So on YouTube, I've got templates that help me to write out videos, and it means that I can just jump in and work on a video anytime, anywhere, and take off right where I left. And it's incredible. It has completely changed the way that I do things here. Likewise, at work, there's a few different core tasks that I need to do, and what I was finding is I was missing a few of the steps in the tasks every time I'd go through that process. So I've had checklists, I've had little post-it notes everywhere. None of that has worked as well as this template system. So I've built these templates in Notion, so anytime I go to do that task, I start a new little project, if you will, that whole template comes up and I just fill in the information, and then I have to go through those steps. So it ensures that I complete the thinking in the best possible way. Plus, then I have a record of it all within Notion that I can access anytime. So I have a log of everything I did, making sure that I checked through all the steps. I did everything really completely, and this has completely skyrocketed my productivity and my accountability to those things that I've gotten done. It's awesome. Number 3, welcome to Exponential Results. I read in a book recently that all the most significant things in life kind of happen through compounding, and I think what the author was getting at was these kind of inputs that we put in, that it feels like you're really getting nowhere for a long time, whether it's investing or relationships or whatever else. else that we have to kind of stick it out. And then all of a sudden there's this compound effect that happens that just skyrockets. And all of a sudden that relationship that was just sort of friends hanging out becomes a wonderful marriage, or that investing that you do faithfully every month, suddenly the compounding kind of kicks in and you've got $1 million portfolio, or all these kinds of things like that are sort of difficult to stick through to reach that effect, but the compound effect is monumental. Number 4, there are no clear endpoints. And I think that sometimes we talk ourselves into there being this sort of like sigh of relief moment, like, oh, I've made a certain income level, or I've crossed that threshold of whatever that looks like, and that then I will be able to somehow relax or like settle in. And I think the settling in needs to happen before that, deep in ourselves, as we go forward with those inputs instead of relying on that outward result. Again, it's sort of that first theme coming back to us here. It's surprising how when you reach a new milestone of income or investments or position at work, it just kind of feels like your new normal, like immediately. I know I take things for granted far too easily, so I'm working on this by practicing gratitude as often as I can for the things I do have and remembering where I came from, because just a couple years ago, I was uploading my first video and here we are 10,000. So it's work to remember that perspective, but that's ultimately what gives us the satisfaction in the end. Number 5, start early or face regret. The age-old adage here rings true. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today, especially when it comes to investing, but also when it comes to things like working on your relationships or starting a business. Start as early as possible. I tell this to friends of mine who are young. Look, just invest what you can. Open a Roth IRA, throw $100 in there, do whatever you can to start, because the time that's on your side, again, by the power of compounding, is just immense. The few things that I started when I was relatively young and started just kind of chipping away at and trying to figure out, I'm so glad I did. So if you've been afraid to sort of grab the shovel and start digging to plant the tree, I encourage you to go ahead and do that today. Do it as soon as you can and just try and take the first steps. Number 6 is related to number 5, learn while doing. I figured this out the hard way, and that's kind of how I learn most of the time. Is I would rather do all the research, answer all the questions, sort of pave the road before I travel on it, but instead you find out that you didn't even know what you needed to know. So there's really no use in wasting time trying to answer all the questions ahead of time. I say just charge forward, but don't worry about perfect preparation. Just be ready to be a student as you're going along. As you're in motion, learn what you need, pick up the skills you've got, and keep moving. Number 7 is speaking to myself, and that's that your excuses aren't the biggest hindrances to your own success. I didn't start YouTube back in 2015 or 2016 because I thought that I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have the skills. I didn't have anything to talk about. And what I'm finding is this kind of rule applies to a lot of stuff in life. Our excuses are pretty bad whenever you really analyze them. Like, was it really too late then? Did I really have nothing to talk about? Is it even important to have something really specific to talk about? Like, people just vlog about their day and it's fine. So it's kind of funny how fast we'll hold on to our excuses, and for so long, they actually become precious to us. So I challenge you to challenge your own excuses. Number 8, you don't know what the biggest turning points in life are until they've already passed you by. In those 200 plus books that I've read in the last couple of years, I've learned a lot of these successful people's stories are really uncharted. Like when they're there, yeah, it's clear in hindsight what was happening and the kind of big turning points, the big moments, the big business deals or the important relationships or whatever that looked like. But in the moment, in that exact time when they were talking to that person, they didn't know that was the big moment. And so my takeaway from that is we don't know when the biggest moments are either. Like outside of big events that we kind of plan for or have a hand in, like marriage, babies, other big kind of life shifting things, outside of those things, we just don't know what's going to be the big day or what's not going to be the big day. For me, I need to do things both quickly and well. And this is a quote by James Clear that I absolutely love. James Clear says, "You can increase your surface area for good luck by taking action. The forager who explores widely will find lots of useless terrain, but is also more likely to stumble across a bountiful berry patch than the person who stays home. Similarly, the person who works hard, pursues opportunity, and tries more things is more likely to stumble across a lucky break than the person who waits." Number 9, recording yourself on video is amazing communication practice. This was actually something mentioned in a book that I just read, and she suggested to record yourself with the voice recording function on your phone and then listen back to it, especially if you can kind of like mock up a conversation and pretend like you're having that negotiation with your boss or you're talking to somebody else and you kind of record that and then listen back and really hear the way that you communicate. It is so enlightening. And it's even more enlightening whenever you see yourself on video because you see all the little like strange things you do. You see where your eyes go, you know, if you make any extra terrible mouth noises or if you say and like and so, but whatever other kind of filler words we use. So if you do talking for a living, not necessarily public speaking, but maybe you just work with other people, if you're a manager of anybody, if you just want to communicate clearly to customers, whatever that looks like for you, this is a great way to practice. It is going to be painful. It is going to be embarrassing and cringy because everyone hates the sound of their own voice being recorded. But I'm telling you right now, if you make 20 videos of yourself pretending to act the way you want to act, you will be so much better by the end of it because you'll be aware of what you're doing with your body and your voice and your eyes and everything. It's amazing. Try it out. Leave me a comment if any of these things were helpful for you or if you're going to try out any of these tips. Now it's time to make a donation to Operation Hope. This is a nonprofit that I found a few months ago whenever I got monetized, and I decided that I was going to continue with the original intent of my channel, which is to help people. Obviously, I'm here as a business. I want to make money, but I also want to help people because I found that just in my life, in my own experience, there's a lot of people that don't have good access to financial information. They can't find the answer to their question in a form that makes sense to them. And this is causing tons of stress, tons of problems for the government, for them personally, for them and their relationships. Like, this is just a bad situation. So the more we can help each other to understand these concepts, the better our life kind of gets in these tangible ways. Like, money doesn't fix everyone's problems, but it fixes all your money problems. So let's fix those. Operation Hope has been doing this for a long time. They go in communities, they help educate people, they help get their credit up so they can get like better loans for a mortgage or start a business or other things like that. They go into schools and they teach kids about money. It's pretty incredible. So what I did in that last video that was my 1,000 subscriber video was explain this kind of framework that at these big milestones of subscribers, I want to give money equivalent to 10% of my subscriber base at that time. So when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I donated $100. Now that I'm at 10,000, I'm going to donate $1,000. When I get to 100,000, the plan is to donate $10,000, then the same thing at 500,000 and $1 million. I think whenever I made that commitment back then, it felt like it was so far away that I thought I would have more time to generate money in between that kind of time and now. And it actually hasn't been that long, which I'm thankful for, but giving away this $1,000 is more painful than I expected. But that's okay. That's probably the sign of it being a good gift. Doing this is both to a worthwhile cause in the form of Operation Hope. They're gonna use the money to help a lot of people, and it's a good light post for me to remember what I'm doing here, why I'm here, and the whole purpose behind it. All right, there we go. Donation is complete, $1,000 to Operation Hope. Hey, in case somehow you're new here and you just found me, my name is Brendan. I'm a dad, a trail runner, and a personal finance nerd who wants to help normal people understand personal finance better and start investing, start building their wealth, and overall have a less stressful life and a more bountiful one with their money. If bountiful is the right word for this. I make videos here on YouTube every week about personal finances, mortgages, debt, credit cards, investing, all these kinds of concepts to hopefully illuminate some of these things that are objectively very cryptic. They are very difficult to understand. So if I can help you a little bit along that road, then that's a win for me. There's a lot of new exciting things coming in the future, including some merch and some goodies and some exciting things that you'll find here on the YouTube channel through the little merch shelf that will be appearing very soon. I'm working on a website. I'm working on a bunch of different stuff that hopefully adds more value to you. If you're interested in that, then go ahead and click subscribe. And if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff, more about trail running, more about my training for my first ever ultramarathon, then follow me at Brendan Fitness and Money on Instagram. And I post there basically every day. So if you want to be a part of it there, then go ahead and let's link up there. And I appreciate you so much for being here and for watching. 10,000 people is mind-blowing. Thank you all so much to all 10,004 of you. I'll see you next time. Bye.